The headlines: bandits killed 2, kidnapped 3 others in fresh Kaduna attack. Kano State Governor sacks Commissioner Aid over death threats to tribunal judges. NAFDAC seizes 4,000 cartons of banned Crusader soap containing mercury. And from the foreign scene, Sierra Leone president says U.S. pressured him to interfere in vote. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. And now the details. We'll start with security. No fewer than 2 people have been killed and 4 others kidnapped by bandits in a fresh attack at Dogonoma Ungwan Gamu community in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. Several residents of the community were said to have sustained injuries from gunshots during the attack. The police in the state are yet to confirm the attack, but a community leader at Kufana said the incident happened in the early hours of Friday when the bandits invaded the community and started shooting sporadically, and in the process shot 2 people to death and took 3 others away. According to the source, the names of those killed are Balalaya and Gimbia Costa, while the kidnapped victims are said Algali, Xavier Christopher, and Siko Nicholas. The police in Katsina have arrested a 35-year-old bandit informant and gun runner in possession of 104 rounds of 7.2 mm live ammunition. One of the suspected masterminds behind the killing of the Dutama Area Command, late ACP Aminu Umar, is also arrested by the police. Abdullahi Ahmadi completes the report.
Police Public Relations Officer ASP Sadiq Abubakar said the command succeeded in arresting one Ibrahim Abdullahi, a suspected arms smuggler and bandits informant and resident of Dumborawa village of Batari local government. Based on credible intelligence, the suspected gun runner was trailed and arrested at Rahamawa quarters in Katsina Metropolis. Upon search, 404 rounds of live ammunition were recovered in his custody.
In the course of interrogation, the suspect confessed to the commission of the offense and further stated that he received the said exhibit alongside one Yakuba alias Dankwandago of Kankara local government area from one Salisu at Wukari local government area of Taraba State, now at large. Our efforts are on with a view to arresting the fleeing suspect as investigation is ongoing.
The police said one Said Yaro, alias Sabunjini, who has been on the command's wanted list for series of offenses such as kidnapping, cattle rustling, and other heinous crimes, has also been arrested. The suspect was arrested in connection with the kidnapping of one Husseini Nabara of Kagara village in Duzima local government.
It was revealed that the suspect was under the command of one Abubakar Jankare, male, a suspected notorious bandit leader, and also conspired with one Usman Modi, Auta Nokia, and one Sule Malam Aibo, among others. Now at large, sometime in the year 2022, and ambushed the late area commander Dusama, ACP Aminu Umar.
The command is also investigating one Samin Usman in connection with cases of kidnapping, as well as a 65-year-old Haruna Wanzam for sexually molesting a 4-year-old girl. Abdullahi Izuma Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Meanwhile, the Adamawa State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of one Safiano Abubakar, a 23-year-old resident of Angwan Chamba in Tongo local government area, for raping a student. According to a statement by the command's spokesman, SP Suleiman Yahya Nguroje, the suspect had on September 12 visited the victim, name withheld, as a friend and later offered her an intoxicated drink. The victim, after she drank the mixed substance and became unconscious, was then raped by the suspect. The statement explained that the suspect confessed to the crime. The State Commissioner of Police, Afolabi Babatola, has ordered an immediate prosecution of the suspect upon completion of investigation. Away from that, the governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, has sacked his commissioner for lands, Adamu Aliyu Kibia, and another aide. The commissioner for lands, Adamu Aliyu Kibia, was recorded in a viral video making alleged threatening remarks concerning the final verdict of the Election Petitions Tribunal. He was reported to have said, "We will kill anybody who dares to tamper with our hard-earned victory at the Elections Tribunal." His remarks caused concern and distress in and around the city, prompting many to call for his immediate prosecution to serve as a deterrent against potential acts of violence. Addressing the media on the meeting's outcome, the State Commissioner for Information, Baba Halilu Lentia, stated that the government completely disassociates itself from the remarks made about the judges of the tribunal. Similarly, the Special Advisor on Youth and Recreational Activities, Yusuf Imam, made disparaging comments attacking Vice President Kashim Shettima. The government clarified that neither of individuals was authorized to speak on behalf of the government. Now, residents in most parts of Lagos are presently lamenting the devastating impact of the early morning rain on their houses. The flood caused by the heavy rainfall submerged a number of houses in the affected areas. Areas in Oko Baba in Agege, Egbede, Ikotun, Ajegule and Ojo are among the worst hit areas as the flood swept through their streets and houses. The flood submerged houses and flooded streets in the areas as residents were seen fighting the water from taking over their houses completely. The territorial coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ibrahim Farin Loye, appealed to the residents of Lagos State to take utmost precautions. Few days after authorities identified overloading disregard for adverse weather conditions and the failure of used life jackets as factors responsible for the recent spate of boat accidents in Adamawa State, residents of Mayoine, Rugange and Gurin communities say lack of a bridge is their biggest challenge. Salis Lawan visited the 3 communities affected by the boat accidents and sent in this report.
The most recent wave of accidents started Monday, September 4th, when a canoe traveling between Mayoine and Mayobelwa in Mayobelwa local government area capsized, killing 2 of its passengers. 4 days later, another accident occurred involving 23 traders and farmers from Rugange village. 15 of them were found dead the following day, with 3 still missing, while 5 were rescued at Jualek. Similarly, on Monday evening, another boat conveying 50 passengers was overturned in Gurin, Fufore local government area as local divers rescued 11 persons. Many died in the incident, while several remain missing. Muhammad Mustafa is one of the survivors who lost children and a brother. He says the incident was tragic to him and prays never to witness such accidents.
Ni da Allah ya kaddare in fita, ina da ya'yana 4 akwai kanina 1 5 da 6. Ban san wanda zai je in ce zan ceta ba, ni kan gaba ki da yana rikita ma a cikin jirgin.
It was indeed a very difficult moment of my life as I tried very hard to save lives. but couldn't. My brother and 2 children died in the incident.
Na gwatsa masa ruwa na tura shi sannan na samu na ci gaba. Ina neman yaro na karami da dan nima ina bakin gaba. Mu je na ce a wannan iskan dan da ya taso kan insha Allah zan hakuri kashin na haya zuwa da sai mai.
I would not have been the one telling this story because I was initial on the canoe until later I realized that I forgot something in my farm. Then I excused them, so the incident happened.
Jirgi ya riga ya noce to wancan jirgin da zai taso shi ma iska zai hana shi zuwa.
Meanwhile, Gurin community leaders are asking the government to enforce safety measures and construct a bridge to prevent future occurrences.
Har yanzu in ba Allah ba wanda zai gaya maka adadin mutanen nan nawa ne. Wajen da aka same su a yanzu ya faru.
A very devastating incident. There are some people still missing who are not indigent of Adama. We felt disturbed over the incident.
We were in the middle of the river when the windstorm started. I still feel very distraught because if I had known that such an incident would happen, I would not have embarked on the journey.
You see, one thing with flash floods, it does not mean as soon as it happened, there will be needs on ground. No, there won't be. But in case we witness any, the Adamawa State Emergency Management Agency, I am certainly sure, is well prepared to attend to it.
Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, who paid a condolence visit to Gurin on Tuesday, directed all relevant agencies to enforce safety standards, which include a ban on overloading and compulsory use of life jackets on the waters. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
The managing director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, the TCN, Sule Abdulaziz, said engineers have resumed work at the TCN power station that was gutted by an early morning fire in Birnin Kebbi, the Kebbi state capital, on Friday. The TCN MD, who was at the power station to assess the level of damage to the power station, said 2 states, Kebbi and Sokoto, were affected, and based on the temporary arrangements being made by the company, it may take 2 weeks for its engineers to fix the damaged power station and restore light to the 2 states. He said before then, the company plans to feed Sokoto from the power station at Talata Mafara, while Kebbi is to be fed from Sokoto. He added that in 2 weeks' time, they plan to feed Kebbi from the transformer assigned to Niger Republic. To replace 2 major transformers, the MVA-90 and MVA-60 that were destroyed by the fire, he said the TCN would need $4 million to procure them. The TCN MD said the company could still not immediately tell what caused the fire incident, but it has engaged experts to investigate and find out what caused it. Infidelity among couples is making men embrace the deoxyribonucleic acid test, also known as DNA, to ascertain if they are the biological fathers of their children. The challenge of distrust among couples appears to be one of the major factors promoting the demand for paternity tests. Hamid Oyegbade files the report.
Many believe that only the mother knows the father of our children. Mostly, the men rely only on the physical resemblance as the main determinant of paternity. However, when a man begins to suspect his wife of fidelity, he would go extra mile to ascertain the paternity of their children.
She left my place. After a few months, she came back telling me she had gotten pregnant for me. Okay. At a point, I didn't deny accepting the pregnancy. So he left again after I told her to even come with evidences that I was the real owner of the pregnancy. She said I should just be sending her money or money. Why will I be sending you money without having the evidence that you actually got pregnant for me. So at a point, she went away.
That it's better you say the truth at the right time to avoid stories that touches, because when the paternity test is finally done and it is realized that the child is not for the man, there's no story that you are going to be presented that it will be accepted from you.
That's the only way you can really prove, you know, if this child is yours and this child is yours. And it shouldn't be limited to issues of paternity. You get me? There are so many what do you call it? There are so many things you can discover concerning yourself when it has to do with DNA testing.
In Nigeria, recently, there's a study that was done by DNA laboratory or DNA testing center that says about 73%, only about 73%, only 73% of cases of paternity dispute turned out that the father is the real owner of the kids. So that means basically you are saying about 25%. That's like 1 out of 4 children.
Meanwhile, the idea of running DNA tests is seen as a good thing as it helps in resolving paternity controversies. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, local cab traders lament low patronage. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. We brought you bandits killed 2, kidnapped 3 others in fresh Kaduna attack. And Kano State Governor sacks Commissioner Aid over death threats to tribunal judges. Moving on to more stories, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, the NAFDAC, has exposed illicit operations involving the importation, sales and distribution of banned Crusader soaps containing mercury. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, made this known during a press briefing at NAFDAC office complex in Lagos. According to her, the raid, which was carried out on August 4, 2023, resulted in the seizure of 3 trailer loads of the soap, which amounted to 4,000 cartons of 12 packs by 12 tablet soap. Further investigation through the ports showed that the banned soap was imported 7 times in 2021 alone, with each consignment having not less than 3 containers with 4,500 cartons of the soap. Adeyeye revealed that on interrogation, the prime suspect, one Peter Obihit, alias Ogbuagu, claimed to have bought the franchise of the product from the mother company and presented an expired NAFDAC certificate that was issued for local manufacture of the product after the ban in Nigeria. She noted that mercury is a serious health hazard and can cause damage to the skin, eyes, ears, brain, kidney, and the nervous system, adding that the presence of mercury in cosmetics is of global concern because of the established and documented health hazard it poses to human health and to the environment. Now, local cab traders in Maiduguri have expressed concerns that low patronage might force them out of business, which may worsen the unemployment crisis in the country. The traders, who fled their ancestral homes in Bama town exactly 9 years ago when insurgents invaded their town, said they started the business of knitting and selling local cabs to earn a living and be independent. Olatunji Omirin visits the market in Maiduguri, where traders and consumers are not happy with the current economic situation in the country. The report.
For one to look upright in traditional attires, a cap is a must on itself to match the northern culture. Abdullah Ali, the secretary of the traders, complained of low patronage, saying caps are available, but costly due to high cost of materials.
The business is not going because the sale is becoming very low, and even if you sell, you don't even get your money within the expected period.
Also, traders said there is no hustling or bustling that usually characterized the market in the previous years.
Wannan kasuwan namu kamar irin shekarun biyu uku ba yadda muke jin daɗin sa gaskiya ba kamar yau ba kamar shekarun baya bane. Saboda fuel subsidy da aka cire mun dan samu matsaloli jiya.
Resident Musa Mohammed says he could barely afford to buy food stuff because of the hike in prices, and so cabs are not a priority for him now.
Only when you are okay, when you get enough food stuff, enough money that can be able to take care of your family, then you will now think of other things like cab. But since the removal, we cannot be able, I did not even buy because I can say like 60% of what I am getting is going by transportation.
They beg the government to support their businesses because they also pay taxes and contribute to the economic growth of this country. Olatunji Omirin, Trust TV.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will on Sunday depart Abuja for New York to attend the 2023 United Nations General Assembly. Ahead of the trip, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, outlined the engagements queued up for the Nigerian leader on the sidelines of the summit. The various sides' activities, he said, would advance President Tinubu's economic development and diplomatic drive to aggressively attract foreign direct investment to the country. Kehinde Amodu reports.
After a successful trip to New Delhi, India for the G20, Nigeria's new leader has been able to attract a staggering amount of investment to the country. Spurred on by the success, Tinubu is going to the UN not only to participate at the General Assembly, but to engage in a series of side activities that could have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy. The activities are divided into three types: bilateral meetings with presidents of the United States, Comoros, South Africa, European Union Commission, and the Prime Minister of Netherlands. He will also meet with the King of Jordan, the Algerian President, and the Brazilian President, including the Spanish Prime Minister.
The President, again, focusing in on his economic development diplomacy, will be having investment at the front and center of his conversations with his counterparts around the world. And these engagements include bilateral meetings on the sidelines.
Nigerian leader will also meet with major chief executives and leaders of multinational firms cutting across multiple sectors of the economy. These include President of Microsoft Company Worldwide, President of Global Affairs for Meta Technologies, the Global CEO of General Electric, and the Global CEO of ExxonMobil Oil and Gas Company.
The President will be speaking at the UN high-level reform of the global financial architecture. This is a sequel to the engagement Mr. President had in Paris. It will essentially allow our president to lay out his vision for a fairer international financial system that does not any longer leave out developing countries from the decision-making table.
On the third level, the president will take part in several roundtable discussions, such as the Africa Global Business Initiative, the Nigeria Small and Medium Scale Business Summit, while he will speak at the UN High-Level Reform of the Global Financial Architecture, which is a sequel to the engagement he had in Paris. President Tinubu has made it clear that his trip to New York will focus on attracting foreign direct investment, jobs, and new tax revenues to the country. He's also focused on making sure that homegrown Nigerian companies have fair and equal access to foreign and international markets. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Away from Nigeria, Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has told world leaders that cooperation is the best way to maximize opportunities and resolve challenges. He made the assertion in his address to world leaders at the ongoing G77+ China Leaders Summit at the Palace Convention in Havana, Cuba. Shettima expressed Nigeria's commitment to tour the path of partnership with member states of the G77+ China towards addressing global challenges. The vice president, who lauded the contributions of the youth in the nation's quest for science, technology, and innovation advancement, emphasized that Nigeria's democracy or demographic advantage is not limited to the absence of an aging population. Earlier in his welcome speech at the opening ceremony, the president of Cuba and chair of G77+ China, Miguel Diaz-Canel, lamented the precarious situations faced by developing countries who are member states. The president of Sierra Leone on Friday accused the United States of pressuring him to interfere in his country's June 24th election count, a statement in stark contrast to the concern Washington has leveled regarding the fairness of the poll. Bio was quoted as saying he was stopped by the United States from calling the results after the Election Commission of Sierra Leone. He had done all their calculations, collation, all the processes. Bio 59 was re-elected in a disputed vote criticized by both the opposition and international observers. In a joint statement following the election, delegations from the United States, European Union, France, Ireland and Germany said they shared the concerns of national and international observers about the lack of transparency in the tabulation process. Ahead of the poll, some thought the country's soaring inflation and dire economic straits would give the opposition an opening. Bio won with 56.17% of the ballot, just above the 55% needed to avoid a runoff. On August 31st, the State Department announced visa restrictions on those believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Sierra Leone, including through vote rigging or intimidation of election observers. And with that, we wrap up News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. You can join our YouTube Live for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.